Since we're on the topic of Korea, thanks to my previous video talking about my review of K-pop Demon Hunters, I wish to give a brief lesson on the importance of the Taegeuk, which is the yin-yang looking symbol of South Korea, to be specific. For those of you who don't know, the Taegeuk is a symbol representing the perfect balance of opposites, harmony, and duality of the universe. Similar to the yin-yang, or Taiji as it's called altogether, the Taegeuk has two sides, with the red side referencing the yang, which represents positive cosmic forces, light, warmth, and active energy, whereas the blue side references the yin, which represents negative cosmic forces, darkness, cold, and passive energy. The Chinese or Taoist references are also prominent with the black trigrams that are on the corners of the flag if you look closely, and they are usually associated with the Korean flag, or Taegukgi as we call it in Korean. As for why they are on there despite the flag being Korean and not Chinese, it can be attributed to how Korea adopted the more spiritual and philosophical aspects of China, such as Confucianism, which had borrowed traits from Taoism or Taoism for some. Each trigram represents sky, water, fire, and earth, which are the classic elements of nature, or at least the four main ones. Interestingly enough, the Joseon Dynasty version of the flag, which predates the modern one, had more trigrams, and with the Taegeuk being more white and gold, along with having a split side down the middle. Even more surprising is that the older version of the red and blue version had a third part that was either yellow or golden, which became a variant of the Taegeuk known as the Sam Taegeuk. As for what the yellow part represented, it usually represented humanity as being essential to the balance of the universe, whereas the red part represented heaven, whereas the blue part represented earth. As for why there are some variants of this version of the Taegeuk, it's to symbolize the traditions of Korean culture of the past, and you'll probably see it in many ancient art and flags, as well as other forms of architecture such as temple or palace gates, or even fans too. Also, if you look closely, Korea has a habit of using the number 3 in its culture, such as the aforementioned Sam Taegeuk, and even the Three Kingdoms, Goryeo, Silla, and Baekje, which was Korea at its most divided into smaller kingdoms. I guess that would explain why in K-pop Demon Hunters, the titular hunters starting from the very first generation back in what I assume is the Joseon Dynasty only had 3 members and not like say 4 or 5, and why it continued even unto the modern generation through huntrix who are made up of a trio of singers. I actually plan on referencing the Taegeuk, or more specifically the Sam Taegeuk, in my Korean fantasy series known as the Child of Destiny story, where it becomes a recurring symbol of hope for the heroes and a symbol of the creator deity of Taegeuk, which is the setting of that story's world. It can also be seen as a slight allusion to the Trinity from Christianity, since my story will have some Christian elements in it to make it more unique. If you want more details of what I have planned, you can check out the video attached to this one in the link down below, or even at the end if you're curious.